For today's tech tip, I want to talk about the data breach investigation report and the three top findings that they're seeing that are causing us a lot of problems. Stay tuned. All right, we're looking at the Data Breach Investigations Report, which is a report that analyzes all of the data breaches for the prior year. So we're talking about the data breaches that happened in 2021. And what they did is they classify them and rank them into broad categories as to what the major causes of the breaches are. So I want to talk about the top three because these are real and these are things that you can definitely impact by changing some habits that you have within your organization. First off is the recognition that the breaches, 85% of them had a human element related to them, which could be anything from somebody clicking on an email that was a phishing attack, or it could be the IT guy not configuring the firewall right. Well, there's ways that you can do this, and a lot of it can be managed through cybersecurity education. You need to have an ongoing cybersecurity education program within your organization to keep that top of mind. You also need to have a list on a board somewhere of who they call when something happens. And the list starts off with, okay, I click something, it acts a little funny. I call my manager, I call the IT guy, I call somebody. Don't just, forget about it and say, oh, nothing seems to be wrong and let that keep going. All the way up to you've had some type of security incident and you need to actually call the cybersecurity insurance company. You need to have that phone number and that contact information handy. Second, it's classed as privileged misuse. And what that is really is somebody having too much juice, being an administrator when they only need to have manager rights, or they're a manager and they only need user rights. You really want to implement what we call least privilege access. For the individual role and responsibilities of the employee, you don't want them to have a lot of extra privileges because you're really just exponentially enlarging your surface area, or the attack field, if you will. If you've got everybody set up as an administrator, there's a lot more likelihood that something really bad can happen. So you need to do a review. You need to review your file shares to make sure that the general users can't get in the manager or the admin folder or the owner folder. So often I go in and do these reviews and I show them this report and it's like, oh, wow, the payroll folder is accessible to everyone in the company. And they're wondering why there's a lot of disruption within the company or unrest. It's because people are looking at things and making decisions on documents that they really don't need to see. And finally, the third one is web application platforms are clearly a very large target. And what I'm saying is that a lot of applications, of course, have gone to the web. QuickBooks has gone to the web, or your software that runs the company used to be on a file server in the closet. Now it's gone to the web. Well, what happens is now, if you're only logging in with a username and password, instead of it being in your office and they had to break into your, the infrastructure of your office to enter that username and password, now they can do it from anywhere in the world. And the biggest answer to that is multi-factor authentication. It's easy to implement and most softwares already have it, but you have to be proactive and actually set it up. Not hard, they'd even help you, but you'd be surprised how many clients I meet and they say, oh yeah, we're HIPAA compliant, we're PCI compliant because our vendor is, and yet they're allowing anyone in the world to be able to have access to that portal to log in with their credentials, and they don't have a way of authenticating, or even saying you can do what's called geofencing, where you can block countries. If you don't have people working outside the US, block all those countries from being able to log into your software that's web-based. A lot of ways that you can limit these risks, but these are the top three from 2021. So take action, do something about this. If you have questions, I'm here to help. Thank you for watching.